Hello, everybody. Jason Grandon with Arizona Real Estate Showcase. Thanks for joining us for another episode brought to you by the GRANDON Group, Arizona's #1 brother and sister real estate team, located right here in beautiful Scottsdale, Cave Creek, Arizona. Can you believe we are here? We are springtime, even though spring doesn't officially start for another month or so. It's spring-like weather here. I mean, we are in shorts and T-shirts, hanging out by the pool, enjoying the weather, getting a suntan, and getting ready for summer. And you guys have entered into one of the hottest real estate markets in the country. There is no doubt about it. It is absolutely crazy out here. And when I say crazy, I mean houses hit the market. They go on day one. By day two, there's 15, 20, 30, sometimes 45 offers. 50, 60,000 above asking price. We've seen it as high as 150,000 above asking price. So does that mean the realtor who listed the house is incompetent and put the house on too low? No, it does not mean that at all. What it does mean is that this is a crazy market. So some of the best agents out here, including the GRANDON Group, Arizona's #1 brother and sister real estate team, and thank you for listening to our show. We look at comps. And this is going to be a little bit of a contradictory statement here. We look at comps. So you want to list your house. Hey, Jason, I've got a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house with a pool in Levine. I paid $150,000 for it 3 years ago. You think you can get me $300,000 for it? Oh, I can get you $300,000 for it. In fact, I'm going to get you close to $4 million. And in one day without having to do much, right? So that's the market we're in right now. And do not let people tell you this. Many are going to tell you, oh, it's a bubble. It's going to crash. These houses are going to go from $500,000 to $350,000 and I'm going to pick it up then. No, you're not. It's not going to happen. This is not the same thing as in 2007 and 2008. We are in a market where we got 300 people plus a day moving here to Arizona. We are in a market with low interest rates, low inventory, super high rents. It's crazy. So yes, it is a time to buy if you can get a house, and this is going on at all levels. This is not just the $300,000-$400,000 houses. We're seeing them in the $1 million plus range, multiple offer situation. It's crazy. So it's a good time to get in here. Interest rates are starting to climb a little bit, and we'll have mortgage guys on here to discuss that because that's their job. But it's starting to climb a little bit, so you'll see maybe a little bit of stabilization. But for right now and for the next foreseeable future, so 6 months out, we are going to see a crazy market. So you're going to list your house. And I know some people call and they're like, well, I can just list it myself and, I'm going to get a lot of people. Well, possibly, but you can also get a lot of suits. I do not recommend that anybody sell their home by themselves. There is so much legality stuff these days. It's not even funny. Hey, even, we're full-time agents for your full-time life, and we advocate for full-time agents, even part-time agents. There's a lot of work that goes into selling one house. And yes, you might luck out and sell your house and get it sold, make a profit, and not have any issues. Good for you. That's great. It's not always going to be that way. 5 years from now, because you didn't fill out the seller disclosures correctly, somebody comes back and sues you because you overlooked the fact that your house had those polybutane piping and not copper piping. You just happen to had copper piping in there and they check it out. That's going to come back and bite you, and it's huge. So anyways, consult with a realtor, preferably the GRANDON Group, Arizona's #1 brother and sister team, and make sure you use professionals to walk you through this process. We make it look easy, and any of the great realtors out here will tell you we can make it look easy. But let me tell you, it's a lot of work. It's funny because there's a little meme going out there. It says, what people think we do, and it has a picture of a realtor kind of just hanging out on the phone, maybe drinking a drink or something. But, your good agents are working day and night, holidays, weekends, evenings, and this is a full-time job to make sure things look great. And also, the good ones are bringing back a little class to this market. We have a lot of agents out here that get into this because they think, I'm going to pick up some money. And that's just a horrible way to go about it. So back to pricing your house. Yes, your comps might show, my house, sold $150 3 years ago, and I'd like to get $300 for it now. That's fine. We still use comps to dictate a price. Yeah, I mean, it's the golden thumb. It's the golden rule. We want to continue to use the comps. But as I tell buyers, sorry, comps go out the window on this. If you want a house, you got to be willing to pay for it in this market. So from the seller standpoint, yes, we'll use comps to start your house to figure out a baseline price. Buyers, we'll tell you what the comp should be, but you're going to pay a lot more than that on it. And unfortunately, that's just the way it is. But it's kind of a double-edged sword. You're getting a lower interest rate. You're getting a really low interest rate. I mean, today you can still lock in under 3.1%. And, that's great. Because in a few years from now, you could be back up to 3.5%, 4%, 5%. So, don't know, but I'll bring the mortgage guys in to talk to you about that. The real estate market is incredible. I got to tell you. I know some of you are coming in from out of town. We have a lot of listeners from out of state wondering what's going on in Arizona. Should I wait till summer to buy because it's just so hot? No, don't wait. Get in here. It's going up. I think we've got another solid year of this, maybe 6 months to a year, but it's great. I mean, so get into this market. Make sure you have somebody you can trust. The GRANDON Group's here for you. We'll give you all the information you need to make a good decision, and you're still buying a great investment. And hey, I will be the first to say I own InstantRenters.com, and we'd like to help out renters, people that are moving to town. We don't do property management, but we have a lot of people that come here and they want help finding a house. We like doing that. A year and a half ago, I was knocking out about 150 rentals a month for people coming here. Today, if I do 10 a month, that's a good month. There are no rentals out here. It is really hard to find them. So, if you have questions, call us up. We'll send you books, information, whatever you need. It's a great time to buy, and Arizona is absolutely one of the best places in the world to live. We've got restaurants are opening, spring training started, masks are coming off. For those of you that want to wear your mask, do it. We are not a political show, but I can tell you there's a lot of people out here that are happy that they're starting to come off. Just wash your hands and take care of yourself. Next, we want to talk about this. This has been happening a lot lately, and we all use social media to get information. It's great. Now, if I have an issue with an agent or a lender or a title company or an attorney or whatever we use in this business, I'm not going to go online and say, oh, this guy, I cannot believe he did this or that. It's ridiculous. He should be fired. This is, whatever the case is. I like to kind of keep my grievances with that person so that way we can move on. Besides that, in this business, it will come back around and bite you. If you say something bad about somebody, your next deal for sure is going to be with that person. It makes it uncomfortable. So anyways, there's been a few people that have been, hey, this was on today. This is kind of why I'm bringing it up. And there was a commercial realtor, or she said she was, who used a local realtor out here, and she didn't like the way the transaction goes. Now, she starts her complaining session like this. I'm complaining about this agent at this brokerage. I suggest you never use them. Yes, he sold my house. Yes, he got me over asking price. But it took him, and then she starts going on what she was complaining about, the fact that it took a couple weeks longer than she expected. It didn't close on time or whatever the case was. People, we are not keyboard warriors. If there's issues, discuss it with the person. Don't get online behind the keyboard or behind the mask and then, get all bent out of shape and fire on somebody. If you're not willing to say something to them in their face, then don't say it. And that's one of the things why I'm so excited these masks are coming off, because a lot of people out here have been wearing the mask, and it's like them being home behind their computer. They can say whatever they want to you because it's not like they're really in front of you. And it's funny because at the gas station last week, I did not have a mask on. 1, because I'm outside. 2, it's Arizona. And I should have a mask because it smelled like gas over there. But anyways, so a lady pulls up. She's like, I can't believe you don't have your mask on. And I'm like, well, I'm outside. And I was very nice about it. Next guy pulls up. He does not have his mask, and we're talking about it and stuff. And then she ripped into him. And then he said something to her, and I'm not sure exactly what he said, but a light in her eye changed, and then she realized, wow, I'm in front of people, and I'm talking to them like this. So it was kind of funny. It was kind of a little bit of a game changer, and kind of why I wanted to mention it in this podcast. So this week we've had a lot of emails since the last podcast. And hey, can you guys believe we are in the first day of March? We are already our third month into the brand new year. There's only 8 months left of this year, or I'm sorry, 9 months left of this year. It's absolutely crazy. And track season starting. My son is going to be a huge track star. He was great in 7th and 8th grade. He's going to be phenomenal in high school, so you have to keep an eye out for him. But anyways, back to the questions we had. One of the questions that came through quite a few of my emails, and it stuck out, that's why I'm bringing it up, is people ask, how do I buy a home in this market? How do I buy a home in this market? Well, you're off to a good start. One of these questions came from Kansas, and it's funny. This week we've had Kansas, and we've had California, of course, and Portland have been our big states where people have been coming in from out of town. So welcome to Arizona. You're going to love it. Just have a good time with it. How to buy in this market? That's a good question. Well, you started off right by choosing the GRANDON Group, Arizona's #1 brother and sister real estate team, powered by Corcoran Platinum Living. We'll get you off to the right start. So, okay, in this market, first of all, it's dependent on your price point. So, here's one thing that is a common ground on buying a house of any price range. The realtors have to talk to each other. What? You mean the realtor I hired has to call the other realtor and talk to him, and the other realtor who's listing my house has to actually talk to the agent? What? Is this something new? No, it's not something new. This is something that should have been done a long time ago. So, what happened to building rapport? What happened to building a relationship with somebody you're going to be dealing with for the next 21 to 30 days? So, if you want to buy a house in this market, rule number 1, have your agent, if you're buying or selling, if you're buying a house in this market and you hire the GRANDON Group and you're like, Jason, I want to make an offer on this house. I know there's probably 50 offers on it. I want to make an offer on this house. Okay? I'm going to pick up the phone. That's going to be my first deal. I'm going to pick up the phone and I'm going to call Mr. Selling Agent or Mrs. Selling Agent and say, Mr. and Mrs. Selling Agent, I'm Jason with Corcoran Platinum Living and the GRANDON Group. If you could return my call, I'd appreciate it because most of the realtors out here don't pick up their phone. So that's actually not true. There's a lot that do, but a lot of them send it to voicemail and you heard back 2 or 3 days later, not us professional ones. So I will call and I will get a hold of the agent. Now, some of the agents, and this is specifically for you people selling your houses and already have an agent, check it out. Some of the agents put on the listing on the MLS, do not contact me. If active, it's available. Text only. Do not call. Do not answer my phone after 4 o'clock on weekdays and 5 o'clock on weekends. 100% unacceptable. If your agent's doing that, and I'm not telling you what to do, but if I was hiring an agent and I saw that anywhere, fired. You're out of here. This is a full-time job. We are dealing with people's livelihoods, trying to buy or sell a house, and I don't care what kind of market it is. You pick up that phone and you call those other agents back. That is what you're hired for, and that is the response you should have to the agents. So, how do you buy in this market? Agent picks up the phone. If you're buying, we call the selling agent, and you build a rapport. Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Seller Agent, how's it going? Oh, hey, Jason, good talking to you. Yeah, we got 30 showings and 5 offers so far. Oh. And it is a law. They cannot tell us what the price is. It's an ethical thing and everything else. That's fine. Listen, I got a client really excited about this house. Maybe they're willing to waive the appraisal. Maybe they're willing to forego, the 10-day inspection period and make it 5. Never give up the inspection period, though. Whatever you do, do not give up the inspection period. You have to know any big issues with your house. But so you're talking to the agent and just build a rapport with them. Not that hard to do. And you'd be amazed of how well that works. So then you can write your offer accordingly. Hey, Jason, we got 10 offers. All of them are over asking price. Quite a bit? Yeah, quite a bit over asking. And then you can kind of look at some of the other numbers in the neighborhood and kind of figure it out. Build a rapport. And this is important for people that are looking to buy a home. You hire an agent, like the GRANDON Group. We have to work for you. That means, hey, if I need to call that guy back at 8 o'clock on a Saturday night, because that's when he told me to call him, well, I might have to step out of the movie or dinner or wherever I'm at and make that call. Because you know what? This is important that you're getting a house. Sellers. Yes, I know you think you can sell your own home, and you probably can. Why wouldn't you in this market? Because it's crazy. You know you're going to get it sold. Use a realtor. No doubt about it. I don't believe there's one realtor out there that listens to this that's going to disagree with this. You have to use a realtor. There are so much legality stuff these days. It's ridiculous. The amount of paperwork we do to sell a house is ridiculous. We get audited. We have things that talk about your house that we filled out. You signed it. And if we have it checked wrong, I mean, it's a potential fine. There is so much stuff. Did you also know that if you fill out your seller disclosures wrong and you say, hell yeah, the seller disclosures are the forms that tells the buyer about your house that you're selling. You fill it out and you're like, oh yeah, I have copper piping in my house. 4 years later, it comes up that it's polybutane and it's not on your spuds. You're in a line for a big lawsuit and you're probably going to lose. So we can't give you legal advice on that, but trust me when I tell you, use a realtor. Use a realtor that's working for you. Use a realtor that's able to pick up their phone, call back a buyer's agent and say, hey, Jason, you know what? Thanks for calling me on my house. I got to tell you, I have tons of offers on it. I don't have any offers on it. Let's get something to work. And also make sure you counter every offer. I cannot tell you how many offers today, not today, but in today's world, we submit an offer to an agent on their house, and the agents, if they call back, will say, this is an insult. I cannot believe you're offering this in this market. And I'm kind of sitting there thinking, well, I can't believe your house has been on the market for 150 days in this market, and it's not sold. And then they don't want to counter back. They're like, well, you need to come in with a higher number. No, we don't need to come in with a higher offer. You need to counter it. You need to go talk to your client, discuss the issues, and then come back with a counter offer. We're not going to counter against ourselves. So, I don't want this to sound like a complaint session, and I'm certainly not talking down to any of the listeners here because I know you're educated on this, but we just sometimes need to reiterate the whole situation on what's going on. So, buyers, make sure you got an agent that's out there getting a hold of the other selling agent and building that rapport. A rapport goes a long way. Selling agents. For those of you that hired a realtor to sell your house, if you didn't hire the GRANDON Group, make sure that they're returning all the agent's calls. Even if they get 100 calls in the same house, every single agent deserves a call back. Because that one they didn't call back may be that extra $20,000 or $30,000 you could have got on your house. So that's just a little insight from the Grandons. And, we don't want to keep harping on that. But we do want to harp on this. It is springtime in Arizona, and you guys are going to love it. Get out here. When you get out here, call myself, my sister up, meet with the team. We'll take you to Sweetwater's Coffee, hang out for a little bit. Spring training's going on. Barrett Jackson starts in a couple weeks, which is our big car auction. And the events are starting to come back. In fact, for those of you that don't know, I was in the concert business for years. And so I'm back in it. So I've got some really great acts coming to town starting in May. And guess what? You won't be required to wear a mask at them. You can hang out, wash your hands, be courteous. If you're sick, don't come to the show. I'll give you your money back on the tickets. But just have a good time. We are back to normal. I'm excited. This is going to be great. 2021 is going to be a great year. 2020 was a phenomenal year. Even with lockdowns everywhere, Arizona is one of the best states. So, listen, if you guys have questions, I love the fact that you shoot me emails and comments and stuff. I'm here for you. Information's posted below. I want to thank you for making this a #1 podcast in Arizona, Arizona Real Estate Showcase, brought to you by the GRANDON Group, powered by Corcoran Platinum Living. Hey, we will be on here again next week. probably the end of the week maybe. We got some topics I'm working on right now, and I want to try to narrow it down a little bit. And I am going to have some people on the show. I know I keep telling you that, but we'll have them in here. And, hey, we're looking forward to talking to you. You guys enjoy the first day of March. Enjoy March. Jason Grandon, the Grandon Group, Arizona's real estate showcase, brought to you by Corcoran Platinum Living. Hey, we'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks again, everybody. Have a good one.